Hello and welcome to ZB Language Lab. As I have shared the schedule in my last lecture, claiming that I'll be preparing English speaking to all the students here without a single chart. Okay, but what you have to do is you have to understand the basics of English, like how to speak English fluently, how you must be able to speak, and what are things you have to do. I have already shared in my last lecture, but as I have told you all that I'll be at the very first starting English speaking from subject verb agreement. Listen, actually, whenever you aren't able to speak English, there are multiple reasons of this, and one of them may be the lack of confidence. But actually, the lack of confidence doesn't mean you are not able to speak English, but lack of confidence also need the confidence of you know speaking English also needs the confidence of your knowledge as well. Like for the girls, you have to use which type of verb, like singular verb or plural verb. For the single person, you must use a single or plural verb. Like you are going to Jammu, okay, from Srinagar you are going to Jammu, you will directly say I am going to Jammu. You will not say I is going to Jammu or I are going to Jammu. Now, why we don't do this, I'll be doing all these things here in today's lecture. Okay, so start the lecture and understand the lecture, and at the end, if you like the lecture, must subscribe the content and channel so that we provide you more things about it. Okay, first of all, actually, what subject verb agreement is. First of all, understand the meaning of subject verb agreement. If you can have idea of what actually agreement is. Agreement is when you agree with another person. Okay, so actually when subject is agree with the verb, we say subject verb agreement. Okay, but when we study subject verb agreement from standard books, we get disturbed after studying complex topics. But I'll not giving you complex things here. I will simply say that subject verb agreement is one of the easiest topics and important topics in English. Okay, but first of all, actually, what subject is and what verb is. I know students will say, sir, this is not the a subject of speaking course, but instead it is. Why? Because if you have not idea that for a girl, for a single girl you will use is, for multiple plural girls you will use are. Why is it so? Okay, like subject is he, she, assume as Ravi, Raju. But what actually verb is? Verb is, there are two type of verb. The first one is that's your main verb. Other is, there are actually multiple types of verbs. But the main two verbs kinds are there, which which you can study for classifying the concepts. Like first one is main verb and second one is your helping verb. We can write here main verb, second one is helping verb. In the helping verb, you will be able to see the auxiliary and your modals. In the main verb, you will be able to see the regular, irregular, transitive, many kinds of verbs are there. Okay, but we are not here to study grammar, we are just here to study speaking course. And in this speaking, what you have to do is, I'm only and only focusing on that context. Okay, assume that you are, for the very simple example, assume that you are going with your friend from one place, like you are going from Jammu to Srinagar. Okay, assume you are a single person, and tell me how much charge would you pay. Would you pay the fare of two people or one person? You will directly say, sir, I will pay the charge of one person. Okay, when you are listening the lecture now, I know if you are not good at English, you simply do what I'm doing. Okay, simply study the grammar, sorry, simply listen me and try to respond these questions if I ask you in English. Okay, example: you are a one person. How much fare you would pay? Only the fare of one person. It means if you are not one, but you are two people. How much fare you would pay? The fare of two people. You are with your brother. How many are you at there? You are three. You will pay the charge of three people. Okay, assume it as simple. But why is it so? Why I'm giving you the example of paying charges or paying fare? Because I'm teaching you subject verb agreement, and it is very important to let you pick from basics to advance. Okay, for example, you are a single person, you will pay the charge of single person. Same thing happens to our life of subject verb agreement is like when you are referring to single subject, you must use the single verb. Agree with it or not? But actually there is a huge confusion among students. They say, sir, we don't know that which verb is singular, or which verb is plural. My dear students, I'll simply give you a simple that's called trick, where you can easily analyze that which verb is singular or plural. Only and only single trick is available on YouTube. It's my challenge. You cannot find any type of this trick anywhere. Okay, simply I'm claiming here. Like for example, you see, you are a single person. You will use a singular verb. Like you say that, for example, assume it, like you are saying that she. Is she a singular? Yes, sir, she's a singular. So she is or she are. Listen, is means singular verb, or means plural, two or more than two. Okay, assume it. I'm not, writing any mathematical operation here. Assume it. Like is used for a single person, and or is used for multiple persons. Okay, but why we do it? Why we do it? Listen, can you see the word is, and can you see that the word s is at last? Yes, you can see that is I is followed by the word s. Okay, but when we say s is at the last, what is the full form of this s? Can we say s is the full form of singular? Okay, hence I'm giving you this trick in a very simple way. Like s is at last, s means singular. So we can simply say all those verbs which use s at last are your are your singular verbs. You will say, sir, this is just applying with is. What about others? Let me tell you. Was. What is lost? At last, s. Has. What is at last? S. Okay. Is, we have already seen. But after that, like go. Can you see s at last? If s is not at last, it means it is plural. But when s is at last, it means it is singular. Okay. Example. Let me give you one more examples. Right? Do you think it is a plural verb? Yes, it is a plural. But do you think it is a singular? How can we make it a singular? Simply we will add s at last. It is a singular. But why do we add s? Because it means s means singular. It's a very simple trick. Okay, but I don't know why people take it like in the very much like advanced way. People say that, my dear friends, my dear brother and sister, you have to memorize these things. You have to understand. You have to memorize that is will be used for singular. No, not will be used. Simply trick. Apply this trick. All those verbs. Okay. For example, let's write here. Let me write here. Okay. All those verbs. Okay, which uses s at last are singular. Okay, simply. You can screenshot this example, you can screenshot the slide, you can write from this slide. Okay, I hope you are much aware about the fact that why we do it. Now let's understand one more complex things with people, get disturbed, people get annoyed, people get bothered while speaking. Okay, imagine the situation. Like you are going with your friend in a restaurant, okay, or in a coffee shop. Example, for example, you are with your friend. For example, your name is A. Okay, you are with your friend whose name is B. A and B are two people, and both of them are going to coffee shop, or both of them are going to restaurant. It is not restaurant, it's restaurant. Okay, but A will say, I want some coffee. Now why is it so? Because A just has learned from the concepts of ZB language lab that whenever we see singular subject, we add singular verb. And when we make the verb singular, we only add s at last. And we already are aware that this is a singular verb. I claim that this is a singular verb. But do you have idea that I is a singular verb? No, not at all. I can be seen as singular verb, but I actually cannot be used with the rules of singular verb. Like people will say, sir, but sir, we say na I was. Yes, you say I was. But in the context of simple indefinite tense, or if you haven't read simple indefinite tense, you simply will say, sir, I simply let me give you one more example. Assume that I is not a singular here. Okay, but when we see I with past tenses, we must use. So simply consider I as plural here. Okay, and simply consider that I will not be used with a singular verb. Okay, but when you get confused by saying that sir I is a singular na, yes I know I is a singular, but you cannot use singular verb with I. Okay, simple technique. Like let me write here. I will not be used with, for example, with. I will not be used with singular verbs. Simply say. Okay. So whenever we see I, what we have to do is we have to add the plural verb with I. Okay. This only is the difference. I want, not I wants. But why? Because want is a plural verb. Now why want is a plural verb? Because when we cannot see S with the want. Okay. Now for example, when you are talking with your friend or with your brother or with somebody else, you will say, hello, my name is John. Like your name is Raju, Ravi, Muhammad, Ali, whatever your name is. You will say, my name is Muhammad Shokat. Like my name is, like if I say my name is Zaffar, but I will not say that my name are Zaffar. Why? Because name is a singular. Simple thing. Name is a singular, so we use singular verb with it. Okay, I am from India. We don't say I is from India. I am. Simply, there is no logic behind it. Why we do it? But simply, we don't use am with any other that's a pronoun. But we simply say I am. Okay. Thought is she wakes up early. Now you will be able to clarify this concept. Now you will be able to understand this concept. She is a singular. Okay, but we have to add only that verb which actually is a singular. Like wake is plural, but when we added s with it, it becomes singular. So we can say s is to s is equal to subject verb agreement. Now we can say that this is actually the rule of grammar. Clear? This is a thing I wanted to teach you earlier. Okay, but when we see two people are involved, like you will say John and I, yes, you will say John and I are enjoying the party. Okay, when two people are there, like simply now, it's very simple. I said at the starting of lecture, I said, I said that you and your brother are going to Jammu from Srinagar. You will say that you will pay the fare of two people. Why? Because your brother is also there with you. Exactly. You and your brother. How many of you are there? Two. Is two. Can we use singular verb? Is I as? No, it will become singular now. So we don't do it. We add the plural verb. And what is the plural verb here? Are. Simply there is no logic behind it. There is no need of confusion to it. Okay, like you will say my brother and sister. How many of them are there? Your brother is one plus your sister is one is to two. I'm teaching you from the mathematical operations because mathematical, the basics of mathematical becomes interesting while understanding anything. Okay, when I teach economics, when I teach social studies in my offline center, I do the same thing, that I do the mathematical operations to teach the things very simply, very effectively. Okay, 1 and 1 is to 2. Why is it so? My brother is 1 and my sister is also 1. They becomes 2, so we can simply say they are plural. Can we use singular verb with it? Loves? No, because our subject is not singular now. Okay, so that is plural, so we say love, not loves. Otherwise, when if we add loves, if we add s at last, it will be your that's called singular verb. Okay, next is, but when you are not sure that how many people are there, you will say, do you know? Okay, example, for example, you are going with your mother and father in the restaurant. Okay, or you are going with your mother and father in any park. Okay, or in any way, anywhere, like you are going on picnic. You will say, do you know my father and my mother are also going with me? This is a very simple concept. Okay, but when you say, you know no, my mother is also not coming, I hope my father will come. Okay, no? It means you are not sure. Understand my logic. Now what I'm saying, don't read from here, leave it. For the few minutes, leave it. Listen to me. This will build your listening capability and your way of communicating with me. Okay. For example, you are sitting in front of me. Okay. You will say, sir, do you have a notebook or a pen? You are asking for single thing, na? You are not asking for two things. You will say, sir, do you have mobile phone or tablet? Why? I will say why? Because sir, I need to watch a lecture now. Okay. You will say, sir, do you have a mobile phone or telephone? I want to communicate with my family. You are not asking for two things. You are asking for one thing. When you are asking for one thing, you will use a singular verb. Okay, you will say either my mom or my dad is picking me up. Simply say either my mom. It means either or condition. Either or condition, if we say either or condition, if I translate this thing in Hindi or Urdu, I will say ya to ye ya wo. Means you are not sure about the things. You will say या तो मुझे मोबाइल फ़ोन चाहिए और या मुझे पेन चाहिए. Either I need mobile phone or I need pen. I will say why? You will say it is very important for me. ये मेरे लिए ज़रूरी है. So whenever we use either, we will add only and only is. Clear? When we use neither, again you will use not what's it called? One second. Not like but likes. Why? One second. Understand the concepts again. Neither my friend nor his brother likes pizza. It's not pizza. It's pizza. Okay, you will say neither my friend, ना तो मेरा दोस्त, or nor his brother, ना उसका भाई. You are not asking, you are not talking about one person, you are talking about two persons, but you are not sure that, you are not sure that which person is there. Keep in mind, I am using the word is. You are not sure which person is there. It means the person is singular, then you will say likes. Okay, if you have not understand the whole history I have been teaching you up, 2 or 3 minutes ago, I will give you a simple more trick. Listen, which one is near? My dad add is. Now, why is it so? Because my dad. I'm not talking about dads. I'm not talking about brothers. My dad. You will say is. Why? Dad is singular. Is also singular. His brother. I'm not saying that his brothers. Brother is singular. Likes is also singular. Okay, this is a very important point when you are talking to someone. Okay. Okay, leave it. Now move on. Now, there are many things in front of us which we cannot count. Like we cannot count water. Okay, we cannot count news. So if we cannot count, do one thing. Simply add singular. Okay, if you cannot count, like you cannot count the water, you will say water is not good for me. You will say water is very much important for our life. You are not saying water are important. Why? Because water is. You cannot count it, na? Okay, leave it. Can you count sugar, chini? Can you count, that's called rice, chawal? No, you cannot count it. Okay, you will say, sir, yes, sir, I will count, a single piece of rice. I'm not saying to count that thing. If you are counting that thing, it will take 100 years to complete. It might be 1 kg or 2 kg. Okay, leave it. The news, you cannot count the news. You will just have news. There are multiple news available. No, it's wrong. Okay, there is number of news available. Next is, when you are talking about groups, simply when you are talking about groups, you are not talking about a single person. Like in the cricket match, you are not talking about Mohammad Shami or Virat Kohli. You are saying that I think India team is good. You are not saying India teams are good. Why is it so? Because team is a group and singular verb. You will say my family. Do you think my family? You will say like you are talking to your friend. Okay, you will say how is your family, bro? He will say, how is your family? How are your family? Why? There are 3 to 4 persons in your family now. But 2 or 3 minutes ago, I said that when you are unsure about the number of things, you will directly and simply say that you are, required to say a very simple thing is. Okay, you cannot count it now. You cannot say that my family, there are 3 to 4 members in my family, there are 5 members in my family. Okay, so we do add it as singular. So when family is singular, we will use singular verb. Like when team is singular, we will use singular verb. Clear? Okay, now the speaking practice. I love watching movies. You will not say I loves because you are singular. No, I'm simply saying I means plural verb, not singular verb. Other singular verb means singular verb. Other plural means plural verb. But I means also plural verb. So we can say I is equal to, 1 second, we'll say I is equal to plural is equal to plural verb. I is equal to plural subject. Okay. My sister, singular, plays. They, plural, enjoy, not enjoys. Okay. Okay. At last, speaking challenge. I'm learning English every day. I is not I is, but I am. Why is it so? Because it's a simple logic. Am is only used for I, and I will be followed by am only, not is. Okay, simple logic behind it. My friends, not singular subject but plural, so add the plural verb. My teacher, singular teacher, add the singular verb. Okay, this is very much going to help you. Okay, this is the end of the slide, and I will also recall a few things for you is what we have learned. We have learned basics of subject verb agreement. For the very first, we studied how subject verb agreement is helpful for you and what actually subject verb agreement is. Like you are talking to your friend, you will say, do you know, brother, I don't like watching movies, he will say, okay, this person is good at grammar, because he is not saying I am not likes movie. Okay, you will not say I am not likes movie or anything. I'm not liking movie or anything. You will say I don't like movies, because you know that I will be used for plural verb. Okay, and singular subject will be used for singular verb. Okay, simple technique is there. And plural verb means, sorry, plural subject means plural verb. If subject is plural, add the plural verb. If subject is I, add the plural verb. If subject is singular, add the singular verb. This thing you can screenshot and add in your notes as well. Okay, so this is the end of lecture. I hope you like the lecture. If you have any type of confusion, you can simply write to me on English with Zaffar. That's Instagram handle is there. Okay, simply message me at there if you have any type of confusion or you cannot study these things effectively. Simply I will reply you at there. Thank you so much for watching the lecture, and don't forget to subscribe it. And this is the series of approx I will give you 20 to 30 important video lectures here. Thank you for watching the lecture.